right, it's Saturday, July 23rd, 2020, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. In the Wall Street area. And we're gonna take a walk down 6th Avenue. All right. How you doing, Candle? Hope I said that right. So we're gonna see how far we can take this. It's nice out. Was gonna start earlier, but said let me take my time and come out because the sun will be out for at least an hour, around to 8:30, and it'll really start falling. Yep, so that's what we doing.
Yeah, I'm about to whiten my shit.
Battery Park. I may do a video on that one. Guys you see on the bicycle, they just came off a bike path in the park. So usually skaters, bikers, they usually use the bike path. I would walk it because it looks nice, but you never know. Somebody can be riding real fast and not expecting somebody to walk so slow, or walking period. They wouldn't expect to see it, and that can cause an accident. That's the bike path right here. I'll just get in front of it, see the bikes coming out. And like I said, the skaters. So sometimes it's not good, because I know I do it myself. If I'm on the bike path, I don't expect to see anybody walking slow. I expect to just see bikers or skaters ride up on somebody who's moving slow, and you're trying to brake yourself. It's no fun. That's the entrance and exit to the 1 train. It's local. How you doing, Joe? I just started, so.
What about faces?
Go all the way around the Staten Island Ferry Terminal. We're gonna walk up 6th Avenue, or 6th Avenue. On my 360. And that's the museum for the American Indians. Haven't gone in there yet. And this is the entrance and exit to the 4 and the 5 express trains. This is the Bowling Green station. What's so weird is they call it Bowling Green, and when you go down there, it's orange. It'll fool you, you know, if you just go by the name. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a spin inside, well, not inside, but around the museum, and go to the Bull, and then start working on Church Avenue, Church Street, and walk into 6th Avenue. That's right, no bowling allowed. Pretty sure there's a history behind it. Maybe that's the person's name, Bowling Green. That's what it might be. Just like anywhere, well, especially in New York, all these streets are named after people. Whether they're famous or not, that's what it is. They're named after people. National Museum of the American Indian. All right. It's another entrance to the Bowling Green station. This is not the original design. This is the updated design that they made years ago. It came out good though. In fact, I'm gonna go down there. I hope the signal holds. See what happens. I'm not gonna go all the way in. Just enough to show you the station is not green. That's where you get your cards at for transportation. You're not. So don't worry. You're on camera all the time. What are you talking about? She's not talking about her being on camera. She's in the booth. What's she talking about? See what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm talking about. She works in the booth and she's on camera all day long. Just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Go on YouTube after this is over, when you get a chance. Put in New York City Earth Cam. You can see the whole Times Square. They got different cameras over there. And they got it in other cities also, like Japan. I think Canada, I think I've seen them have it also. And you can check it. Nah, she was working. She's not on disability, she was working. But I didn't go that far into the train station for her to even be on camera. But that's what I mean, you know. You can go to, like I said, on YouTube, they got an Earth Cam. You can see different parts of New York, whether it's the highway, traffic lights. They have all of that. But it's like a wide angle lens that they use. And it's usually high up. This guy don't know where you want to go. Yeah, somebody blasting music. I gotta leave. Jeez. Hope the camera didn't pick that up. Cut through this little Bowling Green Park. I don't know. Could be. Like a I'm gonna move slow until this guy disappears with his music. He got one of those three-wheeled motorcycles. All right, he's leaving. Thank you, Peter, for subscribing. And thanks again, Joe, for the reminder. This is where they filmed Ghostbusters at. Part of it. I think the very first one. Give you a better look at it in the front. It's the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, Triborough Bridge, and Tunnel Authority. Entrance. And who knows, they probably had a Hollywood set for the rest of the inside. Pretty sure of that. Over here is the Department of Motor Vehicles. doesn't have like a big significant sign saying it, but that's what it is. Here's the license plates. Man, the line used to be long going in here. But now, since the computer's picked up, I used to have to wait a month or more to get a state ID. But now it'll come in less than 2 weeks, sometimes 7 days. So they really picked up on that. I don't understand. Do I have water? I carry water with me every day, everywhere. Oh, Soho's in on here too? Hello, Soho. This bridge was redone. I'll just step on it for a minute and get back on the path. But I used to come over this bridge all the time because I was doing the jobs I was doing, as in fish tanks. They knocked down the old bridge and put this up. Came out much nicer. There used to be a fence here instead of glass. Just like those lights at the side of the building, like pillars. That's all new. Yep. And on the other end, they put an elevator. It's for like people who have wheelchairs and whatnot. This is it right here for wheelchair recipients. So they did making a big improvement because that was just another set of steps. We're gonna take this street all the way down. Well, got that wrong. All the way up. We're on Trinity Place. I didn't want to walk through there, but that's just a small park leading to the one train, the local one train. And on this side, you can see is the R and the W. So they both go uptown. The one train stops at the South Ferry for Staten Island. The R and W runs right into Brooklyn. Most of the stores are closed at the moment until tomorrow. During the work week, this whole area is busy, as in traffic. So you really have to watch yourself walking across the street. Around rush hour in the morning and rush hour at night. is a new building they're working on. Used to be a clothing store for men, a warehouse clothing store. It sold suits and whatnot. They knocked the whole building down. I'm in the street, but both sides have scaffolding, so I'm trying to avoid all of it. Probably cleaning the windows. This is the back of the church, Trinity Church. When the World Trade Center towers fell, man, this area, they had rat traps everywhere. Because all of those rats needed a new place to live. It's a new building. Yeah, so anytime they're doing construction, at least in Manhattan, that's what you're gonna have. Roaches, the rats come out. I was talking about this pizzeria yesterday called Big Al's that closed down. This is the back of that building. He was in the middle of these two buildings. And that's what he used to do. The one with the plastic on it, that's the building he was in. Oh man, I couldn't even tell you. He was more like in the middle of the block. And that's where we used to go. I used to always go to eat when I wanted pizza. This is High School of Economics and Finance. There's a fire station. I was getting ready to go there too. I might just go. That they're just coming from that very block. In fact, I'm gonna do that now. I'm just gonna go down and go up, come around. A little store. It's kind of deep in there too. Probably the length of the building. That I might check out. Indian cuisine. This girl I used to talk to, she was into Indian culture. She got me eating Indian food at one point. That was years ago too. Food was good, man.
You are not from here. I understand you want to be from here.
Man, they got the whole corner with that. And this they're still working on. That's all marble, but I'm not sure what it's gonna be. And this right here is the firehouse that I was talking about. You really can't see the details on the wall, but I'll just make a quick walk on it. I'm just gonna give you a pan because I don't want to get mixed up in somebody's wall or video. So this is the World Trade Center site. Fire department. As you can see, it says ladder company 10, engine company 10. That's always there. I've never seen it move. It's always there. But we usually change the trucks every 10 years. At least that's what one fire department member told me. Even though they don't use them that much, it's like the 1970s where there was always fires in the Bronx and whatnot. Back then, in the 1970s, they were called slumlords. They'd charge you rent, do a little work, and yo, they got away with it. But if they just wanted to cash out, what they would do is just burn the building down. Let somebody create an arson event, and they get paid. Back then, we're talking the 1970s. You know, they get $50,000. I'm talking about like brownstone type buildings. That was their game back then. That's why they made videos, I'm pretty sure, about the Bronx is burning back in the 1970s. And that's what those landlords / slumlords was doing. And nobody can do anything about it. You know, at least at that time they couldn't. You couldn't get away with that kind of stuff now. Now they take old buildings, if they don't fix them up, they'll knock it down and put another one. So, there's always a game to something. Somebody's always doing something slick. So it's like anything. Some things is gonna improve, and some things are gonna get worse. Every era has its good and bad. people say, oh man, the music was great back then. Yeah, well, artists was getting ripped off more. Music, great music, and no type of payout for the artist. So this is the Oculus. I did a video on this. If you want to see it, I already have it up. And I might do another one. That video I did, I think, last year or early this year. You got some type of movie over here. Oh, it's Shrek. So I don't want to show it too tough. I never saw that movie, but I just saw the character. So it's gonna go in the World Trade Center site. It's closed, but I'm just gonna go over there just to get the building so y'all can see the surrounding area, and then I'm gonna come back out and walk Trinity. And Trinity is gonna run into 6th Avenue. There's a lot of art around here. I see a bunch of people dressed in white. I don't know if they're nurses or military. I'm not sure. I don't think nurses are gonna come outside, and I'm gonna head over there and find out if they don't leave before I get there. Now, if I didn't have the camera and I saw them from a distance, I wouldn't even walk over there. I would just keep moving. I don't know, maybe it's a religion or a family. I think they Muslim, or not sure, but it's going by how they look. Or Indian. I guess they're from India, from the way the women are dressed too. I don't know what time this area closes, but I know they close somewhat early. So I'm just gonna go inside the World Trade Center. I'm not gonna walk all the way in, I'm just gonna do a spin around and then come back out. People coming out in the wrong way. Now they want to talk. I like to come in here every so often because they're always changing the site up. Thanks again, Joe. And this is like a mall. So they have a lot of stores in here. Plus they got a lot of room for more stores. Yeah, it looks like the inside of a whale. That's the way it looks to me. You know, because everything looks like bones. And that's the one local train. See, this means to leave. People keep going out the wrong way. I don't get it. Hello, gambler. This is why I love the summer. You can't do this in the winter. You can't do it in the fall. You can't do it in the spring. Entertainment. Like outside entertainment is free. Those times of the seasons you can't do anything really. Spring is always raining. Fall is very windy and raining. Plants are dying. I'm telling you, best time to come to New York, if you can, come in the summertime, right after 4th of July. It's not the only location that does this either. Like I said, they're looking at Shrek.
We gather here today to bear witness to the union of our new
Gotta get moving.
Can we just skip ahead to the ID?
Right.
Go on.
They even got these bikers wanting to hang out and watch the movie. And usually when you're a biker, you just want to ride. So.
Hey, wait a minute. You want to do this right, don't you? What are you talking about? It's a line. It's a line. You got to wait for the priest is going to say, speak now, forever hold your peace. And that's when you say, I object. Oh, I don't have time for this. Hey, wait, what do you do?
Now, this is the restaurant. It's closed right now. I'm glad because there's no music, but you can get a decent look at the pictures that people painted.
When does this guy say the line? We can't see that.
See, beer garden. I think it's the same beer garden that they have at Times Square. That's a lot of work, man. That is a lot of work. I wonder who did that. This is HG Contemporary. Oh! Wait a minute, I think the same guy who did the mural in Chelsea, he did this. His name is Cobra. He's from Brazil. Or he's Brazilian, if he's not from Brazil. That's who did it. I can't go in there, but it says Cobra. That's the one who did it. Same guy. All right. Jeez, I can imagine how much he charged for that. That's big. I think it is. And that's the post office. So now we're going down Church Street. So Trinity runs into Church. Back there is where we were. And like I said, that was Trinity. And this is the beginning of Church Street. And then we're gonna take this into 6th Avenue. Federal Office Building. It's nice and big in here. I used to get my mail delivered there. That's a big post office. Not as big as the one on 34th Street and 8th Avenue, but it's big enough for sure. You wouldn't believe it gets crowded. Well, I guess for this area it should be. But see, it almost takes up the block. I don't think they use every little space of it, as in have people working there. But I know when I was going there, it was always crowded, pretty much, unless you get there like 12 in the afternoon. Going that way is Barclay Street. When I was working at Merrill Lynch, we was on the ground floor in the beginning, and we was right next to a loading dock for the trucks, like to deliver papers, to shred your papers and whatnot. Man, we used to, the fumes from the dock used to come into our office. And man, sometimes we had to leave the office so it can air out, then we go back in. That was insane. I used to go home, I used to catch a headache from the gas fumes all the time. And then eventually they said, we're gonna move. Then they moved us to Barclay Street. I think it was 101 Barclay Street. Or 121. Well, anyway. We moved there, that was on the ground floor. And it was down that block I was saying. Good. And then we stayed there for a good while. Stayed there for like a year. Because they was working on the 4th floor at 165 Broadway. And then once they got that fixed, then we moved from Barclay and we moved back to 165 Broadway. That's the one at Trinity Park. Oh, they're hooking that up. That's nice. It's an old building. They changed the windows, gutted out the insides, putting in the new floors. I can see it from here. Looks good. I wonder what it's gonna be though. People will probably live in it if they don't make it office space. That's what probably happened. If people want to live in it, they should make the rooms big, not small. You know, they give it that warehouse bigness, you know? Like in Soho. When I used to go to Soho to do deliveries and whatnot, man, the floors, like I was saying one time in one of my other videos, some of them get a whole floor, or they have so much space it looks like a studio, but it's not, you know. You gotta break it up. Elevators come out. You come out the elevator, you're at the apartment or loft or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, man. If you got that kind of dough. And by the way, did anybody play the lottery? I think it's that 650 million, if I'm not mistaken. The New York lottery, that is. You can play it in other states. I'm not sure if you can do it in other countries. But that's more than enough. I only hit the lottery once. Back in the 1990s, I think it was. Early 1990s. I only hit for like $29. You know. But it does work though. I did it right at the Staten Island Ferry. There was no line. I did it this before I started this walk. I did it in Staten Island at the Staten Island Ferry. There was no lines whatsoever. Nobody was ahead of me. I just either got a cash and boom. That was it. All this traffic. You would think a concert broke out. Thank you. I hope I do hit. Even if you don't hit the whole jackpot, what if you hit anyway? And because a lot of people get hit and jackpot are diminished then. So that's another thing. You got 20 people hitting. They gotta divide all that money up. I'm trying to wait for this guy to go by. I'm saying even if 20 people or 30 people hit or some junk like that, man, you don't know. You might come out with 10 grand, $200,000. You never know. It's a gamble. Like anything, playing lottery. But when I was at Merrill Lynch, we had this guy, man, he used to play 80, he told us, and he used to play with us. He used to play $80 by himself. And then the whole office would get together and play, and he would put money in for that. I was like, this guy's insane. He had money to burn, man. I was like, what is he working here for? Because what was so crazy was he came from like a big family. And what I mean by big family, I think his family was connected to like that mob thing because he was the only son. But he had family members like uncles or whatever, and they loved him or whatever. It must have, because they left everything to him. So when somebody dies, it's like he hit the jackpot. That's what he was doing. And he told us. It's not like we asked him. He told us. He said that they would just leave the money to him. And his family, at least his father, I don't know if you know the air conditioning company. I think it's called Frederick. I'm probably saying it wrong. But his father owned that at one time. We're talking like the 1980s and back. So they was a part of that. Yeah, he didn't get along with his father, he told us. Like I said, we don't ask questions. You just tell us. And we're talking like the 1980s. Like I said, he was 35 at the time. Man, this guy, he was funny. What I mean by that, if you had a story to tell, he had a better one every time. Nobody can beat this guy's stories. I was like, yo, nobody can match this guy. He'll listen to what you have to say, and then he'll say, man, I got one better than that. Every time. So it got to the point, I was like, I'll listen to somebody tell their story, and then as soon as they finish telling their story, I would just look at him with that face like, yeah, go ahead and beat that. And every time, he'll beat it. Oh man, this guy could tell some stories. But I don't think he was lying, you know. He was older than us. He had me by like, I think 10 years at the time. So, you know, I respect it. And like I said, I'm an ambivert, but I'm more of an introvert, really, on the talk side. Mainly, I just sit around and I listen to people, what they got to say. And that's it, you know. I'm not usually like a loud talker or anything like that. I talk more on this phone, talking to y'all. Unless I know somebody, I'm not gonna talk much. Especially if it's a crowd of loud people. I'm like, well, they got the floor. I'm gonna shut up, listen to them. That's what I do. So, yeah, man. I say his name. His name was Robert Greco. Yo, that guy was so insane with the stories. Him and the older cat that was in the 70s. His name was Lou Bell. That's the one I said in one of my other videos. Sorry about that. She going the wrong way. I don't get it, man. This is a new building. Damn, they're still working on it. But here it is. Yeah, Lou Bell is the guy I was telling y'all about. He would tell stories, and then it takes time for it to kick in. What I mean by that is, let's say if he was talking about the Russian mob or something like that, he'll tell us about what they're doing and all of that kind of stuff. But he wasn't Russian, he was Jewish. And like I said, he's like 74 at the time. But I don't know. He knew a lot of people. And he just did that job with us because he didn't want to gamble all his money away. That's what he always told us. But yeah, he'll tell us something, and before you know it, it'll take 6 to 8 months or maybe a year or two, and then it'll be what he said in the newspapers. You're like, what the hell? Lou Bell was a riot, man. But he was fun to be, or at least he was fun for me. You know, I like the guy, man. He's a lot of fun. Like I was telling you one time, he used to always wanted me to come with him to Atlantic City. But like I said, I don't gamble. I'm not a drinker. And his thing was smoking cigars. So I don't do none of that stuff, man. You know. And when I do drink, I don't drink to get drunk. I drink because it tastes good. So I only like sweet wine. So when people have all these different tastes for wine, saying all these fancy names to me, it don't mean nothing. If it ain't got the taste of sweetness like a grape usually have, to me, it's just a waste of money. I don't care how much money you spent on that bottle. To me, it's just a bottle of grapes in a bottle with a fancy label on it. It's definitely gotta taste good for me. It's gotta be sweet. I think he was from Brooklyn. I'm not 100% sure. I think he was. You might be right though. He probably was from Brooklyn. So he would be up in age now. Yeah. He would be in his 60s right now. Stories he would always tell, man. You could not beat him. And like I said, nobody ever said he was lying. You know, nobody ever said that to him. He said, I've never seen it. We would just like smile, like, yo, this guy got a story for everything. And he was real skinny. And what was so crazy is he'd eat all this health food, like rice patties. He'd eat stuff like that. And then he'll go in the hallway and smoke a cigarette. We'd be like, yo. I look at him like, you're doing all this health stuff, and then you're gonna smoke a cigarette. That and Diet Coke. He used to always drink Diet Coke. I'm like, you know, soda ain't good for you. And that was his thing, you know. It was so bad that he was drinking the Diet Coke that he developed a stone, one of those gallstones, kidney stones, I think it was a kidney stone. And he had to get that taken care of. So I don't know how Merrill Lynch is now. But at the time, we had health care and dental care. I don't know what it's like now. But it was wild though. Boycott, please, no spamming. I don't know. What happened, Joe? I used to work on a fish, not a fish tank. I used to work on a fish pond. So at one time, they had koi. And they took all the koi out. And then they put African cichlids in there. And parrotfish. Somebody got music playing. And then they shut it down once the session at the time kicked in and whatnot. It was cool though. They had it in the floor, just like a regular pond. It had like I think it was over 1,000 gallons. So we had to do water changes on that. I used to like going there though. The whole floor was pretty much open. And they said, yeah, you want something to eat, drink, or whatever. I didn't go for anything, but I'm too busy working. Yeah, but I used to like working at Merrill Lynch. It's a precinct around here. That's why so many police cars. So imagine that being up for the next 3 years. This is West Broadway, but I'm not gonna walk down this block. I did that before, so like I said, I'll try to take different ways from my starting point. Even even though the lower Manhattan's not that wide. But there are different ways to move around and get to the same destination, like different blocks. There's more blocks going across town than it is going up and down. And this is going towards Chinatown, going that way. And that's West Broadway going down this block here. Like I said, we're not gonna do that. Sixth Avenue. Break a little law over here between traffic. This is the area of Tribeca. So we're gonna walk through Tribeca, which we already pretty much did. And then we're gonna walk 6th Avenue, which is called Flash. And that's gonna run through the West Village. Been out for an hour so far, so maybe we'll do another. See how I feel going through this, because I haven't eaten yet. Is there any buffering issues, anybody? I haven't seen one of those funny signals that came on the phone yet. I'm pretty sure something might have happened in some of these buildings I've been walking through. So let me know in the comments. It's 8:39 p.m. 86 degrees right now. But I don't know, I feel comfortable. My bus was empty too. That would have been a good bus to be on. I ain't have to deal with people. We could have just rode. But I will only do that in the daytime, so you can see what's going on, rather than the night where you can't see that much. I was thinking earlier today how much fashion changed to a degree. And, how now almost anything could be fashionable. You know, stuff that was considered whack is now considered in, that type of thing. So you can see in the background, that was the World Financial Center. Yeah, so I'm talking about like the mid 80s. Those circle glasses like Gandhi used to wear. Now before, that used to be considered like nerdy. Back in the 80s, that became a thing. At least like in the culture at the time. Those type of glasses. And then fast forward to now, These guys wear holes in their clothes. That was unheard of. At least when I was a kid in the late 70s. Say like 78 to like 1981. I was a teenager. Back then you could not have holes in your clothes without hearing jokes. The jokes would never stop. You know? You can have one little hole in your clothes and then they make that gunshot sound. I know, because I did it myself. Hey, you got a hole in his clothes. You know. But now, you can do that. And I mean, guys can do it. Before, a girl can get away with something like that, but not no dude. You know? That shows you how much things really change. You know, you can splash paint on your clothes, put holes in them. Levi's store, we got like 3, like in Manhattan, and they call it stressing the clothing. They put rips in it. They put they're shredded. That type of thing. You couldn't have that back then. You know, that's something new now that they just started with the guys having big holes in their clothes, like super big rips in their clothes. The only ones who, like I said, can get away with that was females. They can do that. But that's the fashion. Running out. Now you got a lot more fashion designers, like indie type guys, where they sell their clothes on the street, especially like in the West Village at Washington Square Park. I like going in here. This is Ducati. This is Ducati. See, that's electric that well. But they got an array of course. Haven't been in there for a while, but always thinking about getting a motorcycle. But it's money for me to, after you get the, put it in the garage, you know, that I can't see paying $100 to put a motorcycle in the garage, and I'm only going to use it when it's, and that's only in the summertime. Cool little park here that they redone. Up though, good spot to sit down. Yeah, we're on, like I said, 6th Avenue, Avenue of Americas. And we're on Spring Street. At one point, I've been doing it for a while, off and on. I get bags custom made, and then I just really tell them how I want the bag done, what I want it to look like, and hardware, like buckles, like belt buckles. I get face plates. I get all kinds of stuff that's made of metal, and I have them put it on. Yeah, I can see it now. There's a buffering issue. Yeah, so I have quite a few custom-made bags that I was thinking about doing it myself. I don't know. I sleep on it though. That's something I want to rush into. small little blocks. Look at that brownstone. That is nice. You're one of them small 3 or 4 story buildings. You have the whole floor to yourself. I don't need the whole building. Yeah, but I never followed through with it. At least I still got the bags. So if I ever really thinking about pushing it, I probably would. Maybe I'll do it with this channel. I don't know. Kind of up in the air with me. My whole thing is you gotta kind of be careful. What I mean by that is I used to walk with the bag sometimes, and then people would take pictures of the bag. I was like, you know what that can be. They'll copy your style. I don't want somebody to come out with the style before me. No way. And I had the style for over 20 years. Somebody will just come up and they got the means and the money. They'll be like, oh, that's a great idea. You did all that work and they came out with the product first. So the bags just stay in the house. I wore them a few times, carried the bag, the backpacks and slingshot type bags. And yeah, like I said, I went to Broadway at the Soho area. People just walk up to me, look, and then they just start taking pictures of the bag. We talking. Same thing with I went to the Comic-Con, the New York Comic-Con some years back, and then people just started looking at it like, I'm not wearing no costume or anything. But you know, people's eyes will start bubbling. And like I said, they'll take your idea and run with it.
I was thinking about like coming back.
That's what happened with Apple. They stole an idea from how to do their computers with the mouse and everything. You got that from a guy who's working at IBM, if I'm not mistaken. And IBM executives, they didn't even know what they had. The guy who made it, he did all that work just to watch somebody else come out with it. You know, that's sad. It's a firehouse. That's why I'm got the camera aimed at it. Engine 24, ladder 5. If it was the daytime, you would have seen it. So now we're heading to West Houston Street. Thanks again, Joe. Greatly appreciate it. Man, this guy's this guy's a jughead. And he just came out of nowhere and just made the turn right in the middle of the street. That's why you heard all the horns blowing. I wasn't sure whether to run or stop, because I didn't expect somebody to make a turn like that. Really, that was an illegal turn. But it's not illegal unless you're caught, so ain't no cops around. He just did it. That's what you're dealing with sometimes. You don't never know when somebody's gonna make a move. Wind up causing an accident that way. It's not like I'm running, I'm walking. So he really drove slow because I was walking. If I wasn't crossing the street, he would have made that turn fast. So basically he had to slow down because I was walking. Oh, there go the cops. Step out in the street so I can see where the traffic is coming from.
Yeah, and it's corporate accounting. It's like managerial accounting, which is next.
Thing is, there's no wind whatsoever. It feels pretty good out, but it's funny how we had all those days of high winds. We're on Bleecker Street right now. There's a bag shop that I get my bags done. Well, I haven't done it for a while, but I was getting my bags custom made there. Can't get the name of the place right now, but I'm not gonna walk over there. I really want to stay on the path of 6th Avenue.
Avenue of the Americas. I have a bunch of clients on this street.
It's another cool spot. Love the sound of water. Can't beat it. This place always got pizza boxes all over it because the pizza spot is right across the street. I don't go there as often as I used to. Well, it's a health issue. Anyway, it's always packed. Always somebody in there. Across the street, if somebody's playing music, so you know I'm trying to duck it. If the microphone should go off, it's because the music is starting to get on the camera. And I'm trying to duck it, so I will have to turn the mic off in order to get through.
Please don't do this.
Oh boy. I think it's gonna come on. So I'm gonna turn the mic off because this music is getting loud.
Yeah, there's a clock.
usually have tournaments in this park. This is the West Street basketball games. But that's in the daytime. At least in the past, what they used to do, the girls would play in the morning, early in the morning. And the guys will play throughout the day. And guys be coming from different boroughs and maybe even different states. I heard they even have that in the video game, that park. I think it's one of those, I forgot the name of the game. I haven't played videos. So Grand Theft Auto, I think, is in that game. Not sure. I'm across the street. I don't know if y'all can see the World Trade Center in the background, but that's what it is. Building with the lights. All right. Guys on these bikes, man, I'm telling you. I can turn my head to death. These guys manage to sneak up on me. And they be riding fast. I'm talking about, they're on the sidewalk and they're doing like 15, 20. That's not slow, you know. Doing something like 5 miles per hour, yeah. You're doing 15, 20 miles per hour on a bicycle on the sidewalk? And these are not kids. These are grown men. You know? Nobody wants to hear sorry and all of that junk. Slow down. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on this side. Or should I walk the street? Trying to duck the scaffolding. What usually happens is when enough people get hurt or the wrong person with connections get hurt, that's when something to be done about it. That's how laws are usually passed, if anything. That whole side eventually I think is going to be taken down, except the building at the very end. Because every time a store closes, they won't let anybody else rent that space. So that's a pattern that you'll see in New York. You see like a whole bunch of empty offices, and you see like skip scab, like one or two that's still running. What they're doing This guy explained it to me when I told him about it, because he had a real estate place. And when they do that, they waiting for everybody lease or to end. And once it ends, then they just won't rent it out to anybody until that whole floor is gone. Like when the whole area is done, they'll either knock the building down and put up a new one, or they'll just leave it a vacant lot until they can find out what they really want to do with it. Yeah, but that's what they do. Everything got a game, you know. This is my favorite part of the town, basically. I eat over here a lot. I go to the same spot all the time, Eva's. On 8th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. I go there all the time, pretty much. So when this stream is over, that's most likely that's where I'll probably end up at. And these ain't gonna be here too long. What they do is set it up as art. It'll stay here for a few months until another art project comes up, and they'll put that up. Before they had dogs with cameras and all of that stuff. If you go to my TikTok channel, I got some videos on it. Sometimes they'll stay up for a few years and then they'll change it over to something else. I think that whole exhibit has something to do with endangered species. I'm too close up on it, but this is a church. I may cross the street just to show you. Hello, Christian. I don't know if these are tour groups or what. There's a lot of females out tonight. I don't know if they're going to a party. I got a good distance on it, but it's not easy to see. Well, you're not going to see any details, really, of the church. It's 9:06 and it's 75 degrees. I'm not making it up. Yep. So it's cooling down. So if my battery holds up, this will run into 34th Street around Macy's. Yeah, it's an hour and a half so far I've been walking. Taking forever to make the turn. Probably lost. You're right, Joe. Thank you very much for looking out. For those who are new to this channel, this is a walking channel of New York City. I pretty much do this every day. Walk the streets of New York. Also have a TikTok channel with the same name. And I do short form videos of New York City. I put up 15 seconds to 3-minute videos on TikTok, and I at least do an hour, sometimes up to 2 hours of walking videos on YouTube. So definitely like, subscribe, share. I'm definitely trying to get as much walk time in so people can see the city, because the sun goes down later in the summertime. Maybe I can catch some free events. Most of them might be like new sponsors or new type of events now, because since this kicked in with the wearing the mask and everything, people don't wear them, but you never know who's doing these type of events anymore, like doing free events. Like what they had at the World Financial Center and the World Trade. Usually do videos around here, short form videos. These are the same guys that was at the World Financial Center. They rode up. This is going to be most likely a residential building. Look at that. So most likely they have like 10-foot ceilings and a lot of floor space, I believe. Maybe I'll get a job in there working on the fish tank. I'll find out. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is it. It's got balconies, but it's kind of closed in. Yeah, I still watch Action Kid sometimes, but he's in right now he's doing this thing with Florida. You know, with him, this is a full-time job. Yeah, it's different when it's a full-time job, because you never know how people start. You know, maybe they don't have bills and all that kind of stuff. Things of that nature. Like earlier this year, I was thinking about taking a leave of absence from my job for 1 year and take my savings and use that so I can do this every day. And I said, you know, you gotta see how this is gonna play out with all of this. Like now, they just released the monkeypox. So you see what I mean? Something new. They're gonna keep releasing stuff like that. That's the freaking nature of the people with how their brain works. Poison the planet. Jeez. But yeah, so I kind of said, forget that. Let me just do it this way. Get monetized. And see how it works out, you know. Because like anything, not everybody's gonna like you. You know. I noticed a pattern with some people who subscribe to me. They don't have any videos up. They don't have any subscribers. And some have no videos and they got subscribers. Let me show you this spot here. It's called Dave's. They sell nothing but workwear. Well, of course they close. But yeah, that's a good spot to go in if you want rugged type clothing. You know, like what the construction workers use. That's where the construction workers go. They have a lot of clothes for that. Construction workers. Anything like what is that? Construction boots, orange shirts, lime green shirts. They go out of stock fast. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, they go really fast. Yeah, see, he used to be an accountant. Then maybe his channel kicked off, he started doing well, and then he decided, you know, let me do this full time, doing YouTube. You know, so you never know, you know, some people's background, you know, how they start. I'm gonna turn this mic off for a minute because this guy got his music blasting. Yeah, I follow Action Kid every so often. You know, well, I follow a lot of guys who do who walk New York or do walking videos, period. You know, just to see what they're up to or whatever, and support. That's a nice building. Well, if it was the daytime, you'd definitely get a better look. Got a lot of nice buildings around here. I got a lot of open floor space. Here's one now. But on Action Kid, what he was doing it every day pretty much. And thing about him, he's Asian. And what Asians do, they support one another. Now, when I used to watch his channel pretty often at one time, look at the people who send in donations. Like one I caught, because I donate to people too for their channels. Like I sometimes watch art channels and I got a subscription to the person, and I'll support them. I'll send them $20 or something like that. Man. So back to Action Kid. He had a lady that sent him $500 easy. I was like, whoa. I think you can give up to the max that I've seen was when I was, like I said, giving people money at times for their channel, like support. That's the highest I've ever seen that you can give. Whatchamacallit? I can't get the name of it right now. But that's what you do. You can. I can't get the name of it. I can't believe this. And I use it pretty often. I haven't used it for a good while. But that's how you can give donations through YouTube. And people have their own way of setting up things through other forms of payment or support, if you want to call it that. Yeah, but he used to get, when I was watching him then, he used to get a lot of people that would donate money like that. So it's not just money he's making from YouTube, like specifically only. It's the donations too. So that helps a lot. That's less bills you got to worry about. Super chat. I kept saying in my head Snapchat, but I knew it wasn't Snapchat because I know that's something else. Super chat. That's exactly what it is. And yeah, I should give to him and a few others. Mainly in the wintertime, you know, because I don't walk that much or move around when it's freezing cold. That's not me. I'm a summer person. That's going to be the hard part for me doing this when it freezes up and it's 12 degrees outside and the wind is blowing. You know, I got the clothes to deal with it, but I just don't like it. You know, winters of New York, or any winter, freezing cold. Yep, that's what it is. PayPal, Patreon, Streamlabs, stuff like that. You know, So all of that helps, you know. Definitely helps a lot. You got stuff like that going, other than just the YouTube, you know, cash coming in, when donations kick in and stuff like that. This is another section I like to come to, and oh man, the street is beat up. So they working on it. Yeah, this street is beat up. I was gonna do a thing on it. See how beat up it is? So they're gonna resurface it. They usually do street fairs over here also. Like they'll close the street down on this block. On this street here, they'll do the Japan Day, Japan Festival. And it'll be closed down for a few blocks. Or any street fairs they have, they'll do it on. This is one of the blocks they'll do it on. Thanks again, Joe. Thank you very much. Man, every time I say, should I take the skateboard, ride, or what? And when I say no, it works out. Because I would have been carrying that board. This street is beat up. Who knows how long it's going to take before they actually pave it over. Sometimes it'll take a month before they'll repave this. On my block, I was shocked. They broke the street up. My area where I live is red line. I don't know if I should go into talking about how that works. Yeah, I know Walks and he don't really ride anymore. The reason I want to use my skateboard is for those areas where it's no buildings and parking lots. I can breeze through them instead of trying to walk fast. But yeah, every time I'm turning around, I'm bumping into these streets they're working on. Back to like my neighborhood. What they did, like I said, I was shocked. They broke the street up like this at night, and then they repaved it the next night. I was like, what? They never do that. Like I said, they usually break stuff up like this, and it'll take like 3 weeks for them to come back to it. They didn't do that on my block for some reason. They did it to the adjacent neighborhood, Stapleton, because I live in Park Hill. So in Stapleton, they broke up the street, a whole area. The buses ride that area and everything, but nobody really lived in that area. So they waited for a month, and then they repaved it. So if it's a high traffic area, maybe they'll do it. But there's no kids around here playing and whatnot. So maybe that's why they did my block so fast. They did it like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, about 3 years they did it. I still haven't gotten my bicycle tuned up. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. I want to do bike rides. Cause I got skateboards and I got bicycles, so I can use either or. I want to do it for like those areas where it's like way on the east side. They got a whole runs like 2 blocks of nothing on one side, so I wouldn't be able to turn the camera around as much. I'm gonna turn this off for a minute. I did that because I thought he was gonna be caught at a red light. Yeah, that happens too. For some reason, like where I live, we don't have a rat problem. Well, I live in Staten Island. So in my area, we live around private houses. Because I used to live in a private house on that block before I moved in that building. And so we got cats running around. And also, the only thing I ever seen was possums, but real late at night. You come home, I come home like 2 in the morning or something like that, and I'll spot a possum every so often. But usually when I find a possum, they're usually babies. They're not like full grown. You go to Central Park, that's something else. You'll see families of raccoons. Once in a blue I'll see a opossum, but in Central Park, the main thing you're gonna see, like I said, is raccoons. They got one family by one of the lakes, and man, I saw this guy, he was dropping Cheetos to him. Stuff like that, junk food. And they hold their hands up. I don't know if you want to call them hands or feet. They hold them up like, all right, drop it. That's what they do. You throw it down and they just pick it up. And it's funny. Bunch of raccoons. I visited them like maybe 3 or 4 times. And it's probably like 15 or 20 of them. And all of them, the ones that I seen, the majority of them was big. I only saw maybe 3 babies, something like that. Maybe a bunch of them, and that's just the ones that I seen. It's probably even more, you know. McDonald's. I bumped into Action Kid around Christmas time this year. Well, you can say last year, not this year. The past Christmas, I saw him about twice around the Rockefeller Center. Yeah. I bump into other content creators every so often. Mainly, the main one I bump into is Fernando. I bump into him more than anybody. And sometimes I'll see Boogie Bob. Cross. Jeez, they broke this block up. I didn't realize until I started walking. I'm busy looking in different directions.
You gotta go the other way.
Like I said, whatever the direction the camera's facing, I'm not really looking that way. I do it briefly, but I'm constantly looking around. Definitely don't want to get hit by a bicycle. It's nice. Yeah. So when you see a lot of police vehicles like this, that means there's a precinct close by. It's within the block. It's further down that block. It's I'm not gonna go there though. But it's on the outside. I don't know what the inside looked like. The outside of the building looks beautiful, man. You'd be like, that's a precinct? No way. But it looks nice. You know? But what can happen also, they'll take a nice building like that and sell it to a developer. Developer will keep the building looking nice, but he'll change the whole inside around so people can live in it. Just like if anybody's familiar with it, the one on Grand Street around Soho area. Man, that place is insane. I used to work on I did a fish tank and a TV delivery there before. It's an old police station. It's really big, and it's inside is no joke. If you can find somebody who lives in there, you'd be like, what? Impressive. Whoever did the job. Okay, we're 2 hours in. Still gonna push this to see how far I can take it. Oh, that was cool. But he's more familiar with the area, so that's easy for him to go there. Like, I lived in Queens, but I didn't live there a long time. I was there back in the 1980s, like 81. And I only lived there for like 6 months. I was living in Jamaica, Queens. And we moved in like a 2-family house at the time. And I wound up missing school that year. Then we moved to the Bronx. I lived out there for like 2 years. And I went to school in the Bronx, DeWitt Clinton High School. Okay, Candle, you have a good night. The Empire State Building lit up in white. Now we're about to approach Herald Square, which is Macy's. I was over here yesterday. Second time I came to work on 32nd Street, to work on a fish tank. I could never catch the person. I don't know. Their office was closed, at least when I went. And the guy said, well, they closed on Fridays. I'm there already. So that's how that went. Yep, so here come Macy's. Do a 360 turn in here. Step on these big boulder rocks. As you can see, those green paths, those are for the bicycles. I'm gonna get back on 6th Avenue. Oh, they closed the park. I was gonna cut through. Anyway, I'm gonna hit 6th Avenue. Still in Herald Square. Back up. Empire State Building. Thing is, a lot of people, they'll see that green path and they're standing right in it. Like, I'm like, yo, they got signs there saying it's a bike path, but they're standing right in it and won't budge until the car actually gets up on them. Or the bicycle, when enough bicycles come through, then they start stepping back. I'm like, get off the street. It's in the street anyway. What are you doing in the street? You know? Stay on the curb. don't know, one of these days I might rent an electric bicycle. Because I want to ride around Central Park and give everybody a view of that. I'm not in the best shape because I haven't rode a bike in a long time. Well, for me, it's been like a long time, at least 5 years now, counting wearing the mask and all of that. Since that started, I haven't done anything really. I haven't been skateboarding, no bike riding, stopped hanging out or whatever. I just stopped everything. So I'm just like trying to get back in the swing of things. But if I rent an electric bike, I can easily tour through Central Park. I can set the camera up, the phone or whatever, and I can just run through Central Park, slow down on the areas that, you know, that's definitely want to be seen. And like the hills, I don't have to work the pedal to climb up. Because trying to climb some of them hills in Central Park is no fun. When you're trying to live stream. I'm not gonna try to talk and then trying to catch my breath. Talking about, yeah, look at this. It ain't gonna happen. So that's when an electric bike comes in handy. Run, run. That's what I mean. That's throughout the bike lane. People were still staying right in that path. And on 6th Avenue, these guys use this path and they be riding fast. So definitely staying clear of that. Most of them don't slow down. And they got electric bikes. They don't slow down, they just try to swerve around you. I know the feeling because that's how I ride. You know? I don't have an electric bike, so I'm pedaling. So I'm not trying to lose speed. You know? Yeah, majority of them are delivery bikers, but they got guys that just ride for fun. Cause I used to ride with a bunch of guys. We started out with skateboards, electric skateboards. Then, as this electric wave started kicking in, they started making electric bikes, electric scooters, electric you name it. Started doing it, unicycles. So the guys I used to ride with, you may have maybe a handful of guys that ride electric skateboards. Everybody's on scooters, either on a scooter or they're on a unicycle. All of them is on those because you get more miles on it. The most miles you can get on a skateboard, I think, is 30 miles. You know, because those guys, some of them build them up themselves. You know? But if you're not as heavy as some people are, if you're in the 140, 150 pound range, something like that, they got unicycles that can do 100 miles. You know? That's like charging your scooter up, your unicycle up once a week. And you can ride every day. now that's the thing. I'm gonna try to take this to Times Square.
Oh, you're all done? You want to come back out?
I was working in this building yesterday. I work on 3 tanks in here. One with a turtle and a fish. One with just fish. And one with just a turtle. They had to break up the turtles because one turtle, the smallest turtle, was picking on the biggest turtle. Imagine that, but that's what happened. So they got their own tank. I'm surprised the turtle didn't eat the fish, even though the fish is big. He's no match for a turtle. They get along. That's Bryant Park. That's where we used to always go to charge up our skateboards. Used to go there every time. That's one of the spots. But they put some type of covers over the electric sockets, so you can't charge up there anymore. That's when everybody was mainly riding skateboards, which was like 3 years ago. Since everybody's using unicycles, it's those big one wheels. The wheel is in the middle. You got a seat on it. Being that everybody's using unicycles, they can charge up and ride all day. Most of them get the kind that can do about 30 miles per hour. And they can get like 60, at least from 40 to 80 miles on one charge. So they'll just charge up overnight. And then they'll meet up. We used to meet up on 8th Street and right off of Astor Place. We used to meet up at this place called Kung Fu Tea. And we just meet up over there, charge up, take off. That was like our meeting ground. That was our last meeting ground that I was familiar with. But they said they still do it because I bump into those guys every so often. What's the accident? I don't think Bryant Park has any events going on right now. It is on the kind of lake side, so. Whole Foods. Used to go in there and eat and charge up also on that second level right there. Empire State Building in the back. Look at this guy, he got one of those electric bikes. Electric. What I did on my electric skateboard, I didn't put any lights on the skateboard. I put the lights on me. I had lights on my helmet. I had lights on my pockets that aimed down to the ground. That's so nobody won't get flashed in the eye. And yeah, you definitely saw me coming. Lights was blinking red, white, and blue at the time. I'm waiting for this guy to go by. But it's music. I gotta turn this mic off for a minute. Oh boy. He got one of them BMW cars. He probably changed his or asked for an upgrade because it's kind of so they can disappear. That model. Yes, some noise. Drown out that music.
Probably do a standing one.
Kim. Trying not to walk into people's picture. Yes, it is Times Square. You see this flag? All those people? That's Times Square. Gotta find a way out because I hear music that's copyrighted, so I gotta try to dodge it. Doing some type of jump rope. I gotta turn the mic off for a moment. There's a wave of people. Right? That was another content creator.
I wonder if I said no, we'll find out some more.
Vení, vení. Does anybody see any buffering issues now? Thank you, Frank, for subscribing to the channel. Greatly appreciate it.
Child of God, hallelujah, Lord of honor. We know your God, you are his child. We know your God, he's the God. We know your God, he's with you and in you. We know your God, he's your son. Why do you say that Christian and dance with Satan? Wrath? No, this is not wrath. This is love. This is love from a God. Hallelujah. This is pure love.
That's one of the Levi stores. You can go and have your clothes customized. I gotta turn around. Playing music. Gotta try to get away from that. Place I normally go to eat in the village, they're gonna close in an hour, so I'm not going. I'm not gonna even try to make it. Well, it is Saturday, so those are the busiest days of anything. Friday night, all day Saturday. There's a performance going on in there. That's why I didn't want to go in there, because I'm hoping the streets of the sound will drown the music out. That's why I'm in the street. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I know the biker from, he was explaining to my viewers at the time last year a few things about Times Square, so then I tipped him. You should have seen the faces on the guys that they do the same thing. They ride people around. It was like 4 other guys. I gave him like a $20 tip. The guys was like, ah, you don't even have to work. Because they charge like, I think, $6 a minute. Something like that. $6 or $7 a minute. Yeah, so that kind of like took it. I did a live stream for TikTok sometime last year. So I did a live stream for TikTok last year. And the guy rode me around. I just said, go from here and then come back to this spot. So it took 20 minutes to do that ride. I said ride slow because I wanted to do a video. So then it came out to like $130. I was like, whoa. I said, this is only good for like short rides then. I just wanted to give the people at TikTok at the time something different than me just walking. So I'm gonna eventually do it for, like I said, for this channel, because I'm not doing that kind of stuff for TikTok anymore. There's strictly short stuff. And I'm trying to keep all the long form videos for this channel. Yeah, you can see it's busy. Well, Times Square always been like this since I was a teenager or whatever. It's always been crowded. But of course, this wasn't like this. It wasn't, you didn't have the sidewalk in the street. So, that's the difference. When I had the chance, I forgot to show y'all the wall we used to take pictures on. We used to take Polaroids. The guys used to come out with a Polaroid camera. And, we're paying $5 or whatever. And we take group photos. Because we used to go to clubs and all of that kind of stuff at the time. As soon as before we even get started, that's what we used to do. Take pictures until everybody got a picture of their own. And then we just take off. Go to wherever we're gonna go. Trying to wiggle my way through this. Get around this guy. It's like some people forget where they at. A bunch of snake charmers around here. Those are the guys you take pictures with. You put the snake on you and take it from there. So I'm at 20% battery life. So I'm not gonna last too long on this.
Be a chicken, man.
Bird. He's pretty calm. My bird didn't like Times Square. Freaking out. Hope y'all ain't scared of snakes. You gotta get away from the music. The light is on. The phone. The light is on the phone. It just went out. B&H photo. B&H photo. B&H photo. That's the name of the place that I got it at.
How much is it?
Like 150.
150?
Yeah. DJI. Oh, okay. B&H photo to get it. Oh, all right. think I'm working. They start asking me wild questions. Hey, can you take a picture of me? Here's my phone. I'll be like, yo, I'm working. I'm talking about. So if you're new to this channel, this is a walking channel of New York City. I also have a TikTok channel by the same name, NYCEEFX, Nice Effects. I do walking tours of New York City. On my TikTok channel, I do short form videos from 15 seconds to 3 minutes. Sometimes I add music to it from the 1920s up until now. So definitely check it out. Nice Effects. Like and subscribe and share on this channel also. This channel is Nice Effects as well. Do this pretty much every day. And if you like it, subscribe. Okay, people, I'm at 20% on battery life. I just got about to close out because I'm on here for almost 3 hours. I may have to change this battery totally from the Apple store. I'm at 87%, so the battery's pretty much on its way out. I can't get 4 hours out of it anymore. Okay, sir and sis, take it easy, have a good night, and may I see you tomorrow. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for everything, man. You hang in there every day for me. I appreciate it a great deal. Y'all take it easy.